What if I told you that strength isn't built in moments of motivation, but in moments when no one is watching? That's where self-discipline lives. Not on the days you feel inspired, not when the music is loud and the words hit hard. Real discipline shows up when you're tired, distracted, bored, and tempted to quit. Weak men wait for motivation. Strong men move anyway. They don't negotiate with their feelings, they command their actions. Why do some men stay stuck while others keep rising even when life hits them just as hard? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's daily self-discipline. Strong men don't wake up powerful. They become powerful by winning small battles every single day. They wake up when it's uncomfortable. They work when it's inconvenient. They stay consistent when quitting feels easier. That's the separation line. How many times have you promised yourself, tomorrow I'll start, and broke that promise? Every broken promise weakens your self-respect. Every excuse trains your mind to doubt you. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect in action. Strong men don't do what feels good. They do what builds them. And over time, their confidence doesn't come from words. It comes from proof. What if the reason you don't trust yourself anymore is because you stopped keeping promises to yourself? Daily discipline rebuilds that trust. One workout completed when you didn't feel like it. One task finished without excuses. One temptation resisted. That's how a man rebuilds his identity. Not through speeches, through standards. Weak men lower the standard to match their comfort. Strong men raise their discipline to match their potential. Who do you become when no one is clapping, liking, or watching? That's the man you're training every day. Strong men understand this. Your habits are always listening. Your mind is always learning. Every time you choose comfort, your future gets weaker. Every time you choose discipline, your future gets stronger. You are voting for the man you will become every single day. Are you ready to stop chasing motivation and start building discipline like your life depends on it? Because it does. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline is what gives you pride when life gets hard. Discipline is what separates men who talk from men who lead. And once you master daily self-discipline, you don't just feel stronger, you become undeniable. What if the real battle was never outside of you, but inside your own mind? Because before a man changes his life, he must change the way he thinks. Weakness doesn't start in the body, it starts in the mind. Strong men are not fearless, they are focused. They don't let every thought sit at the table. They choose which thoughts get power and which ones get ignored. Why do two men face the same struggle, yet one breaks while the other rises? It's mindset. One man asks, "Why is this happening to me?" The other asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift alone changes everything. Strong men see pressure as preparation. Weak men see pressure as proof they should quit. Same pain. Different interpretation. Different future. How many times has your own mind talked you out of becoming who you could be? That voice says you're tired. That voice says you're not ready. That voice says wait, delay, slow down. And if you listen long enough, it becomes your prison. Strong men understand this truth. You don't silence the voice by arguing with it. You silence it by acting anyway. Action rewires belief. What if strength is simply the ability to stay mentally present when discomfort arrives? Most people run. Strong men lean in. They don't escape hard moments. They endure them. They stay calm under pressure. They don't panic when things go wrong. Because they train their mindset to say, I've been here before. I can handle this. Mental strength is built when comfort is removed. Who taught you that confidence comes before action and not after it? That lie keeps men weak. Confidence is earned. It's the byproduct of showing up repeatedly when it's uncomfortable. Strong men don't wait to feel confident. They build confidence through consistency. And over time, their posture changes. Their voice changes. Their presence changes. Because their mind knows, I don't fold. Are you willing to change the story you keep telling yourself every day? Because the strongest mindset is responsibility. No blame. No excuses. No victim mentality. Strong men take ownership even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. And the moment you own your thoughts, your reactions, your standards, you stop being controlled by circumstances and start commanding your direction. What if confidence isn't something you're born with, but something you earn through pain? Because real confidence doesn't come from compliments, likes, or validation. It comes from surviving moments you thought would break you. Strong men don't feel confident because life is easy. They feel confident because they've been tested and stayed standing. Confidence is the residue of endured hardship. Why do so many men look confident on the outside, yet feel empty on the inside? Because borrowed confidence collapses under pressure. It's built on approval, not proof. The moment criticism hits, it shatters. Strong men build confidence from within through routines, discipline, and repeated self-respect. When you know what you've endured, no opinion can shake you. How many times did you walk away from discomfort instead of walking through it? Every time you avoid pain, you teach your mind that it's in control, not you. But when you stay, when you breathe, when you finish what you started despite fear or fatigue, something changes. Your nervous system adapts. Your mind hardens. You don't just feel braver, you become braver. What if your anxiety isn't weakness, but unused strength waiting to be trained? Strong men don't eliminate fear, they domesticate it. They turn pressure into presence. They don't rush decisions when emotions are high. They slow down, stay grounded, and respond instead of react. That emotional control is what separates leaders from followers, men of depth from men of impulse. Who told you that emotions should control your actions instead of inform them? Weak men are ruled by mood. Strong men are guided by values. They feel anger, fear, doubt, but they don't let those emotions drive the wheel. Emotional strength is not suppression, it's mastery. It's knowing what you feel and choosing what you do anyway. Are you ready to build confidence that survives chaos, criticism, and collapse? Because unshakable confidence comes from knowing this. I've been uncomfortable before, and I didn't quit. When life applies pressure, strong men don't look for exits. They rise in posture, steady their breath, and meet the moment. That's not arrogance. That's earned self-belief. What if the reason you feel lost isn't because you lack talent, but because you lack direction? A man without direction will burn energy and call it effort. He'll stay busy and call it progress. Strong men don't just work hard, they work towards something. Purpose gives pain meaning. Direction turns sacrifice into fuel. Without it, discipline feels heavy. With it, discipline feels necessary. Why do so many men wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep? Because exhaustion doesn't come from effort. It comes from aimlessness. When you don't know where you're going, every task feels pointless. Strong men wake up with clarity. They know what they're building. They know why today matters. And that knowledge pulls them out of bed when comfort begs them to stay. How long will you keep letting other people, distractions, and circumstances decide your path? Weak men drift. Strong men decide. They don't wait for perfect conditions or clear signs. They choose a direction and commit. Purpose isn't found in comfort. It's forged in responsibility. The moment a man takes ownership of his future, confusion loses its grip. What if your habits are silently shaping a future you haven't consciously chosen? Every routine is a vote. Every decision points somewhere. Strong men align their habits with their mission. They don't let random pleasures dictate their schedule. They ask one powerful question every day. Does this move me closer or further from the man I want to become? And then they act accordingly. Who told you that purpose has to be dramatic, loud, or glamorous? Purpose starts small. It starts with standards, with showing up, with being dependable. Strong men don't chase meaning. They create it by being useful, disciplined, and consistent. Over time, that consistency compounds into confidence, respect, and inner peace. Direction simplifies life. Clarity removes chaos. Are you ready to live with intention instead of reaction? Because a man with purpose becomes dangerous in the best way. He's calm under pressure. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't fold when things get hard. He knows where he's going. And when a man has direction, the world feels it. He walks differently. He speaks differently. He lives like every day matters because it does. What if the final difference between weak men and strong men is this: who they become when life hits them hardest? Because life will test you. Not once. Not gently. It will strip comfort, expose flaws, and apply pressure where it hurts most. Weak men collapse under that weight. Strong men rise not because they enjoy pain, but because they trained for it. Resilience is not talent. It is built. Why do some men fall apart at the first sign of failure while others grow unbreakable? Because strong men expect resistance. They don't see setbacks as signals to stop. They see them as confirmation they're moving forward. Failure doesn't embarrass them. Quitting does. Every time they fall and stand back up, something inside them hardens. Not bitterness, strength. How many times has life knocked you down and dared you to stay there? That moment is the crossroads. Weak men ask, "Why me?" Strong men ask, "What now?" Resilience is the ability to respond instead of retreat, to breathe, reset, and take the next step, even when the vision is blurred and the outcome is uncertain. What if mental toughness is simply refusing to let a bad moment define your identity? Strong men don't label themselves by their losses. They don't let one mistake become a life sentence. They separate the event from the self. They say, "I failed, but I am not a failure." That mindset keeps them in the fight when others walk away. Who told you that strength means never breaking? That lie destroys men. Strength is breaking and rebuilding better. It's feeling pain and still choosing discipline. Feeling doubt and still showing up. Emotional resilience isn't numbness, it's endurance. It's learning how to carry weight without letting it crush your spirit. Are you ready to become the kind of man who cannot be destroyed by pressure, loss, or uncertainty? Because the world doesn't need more comfort seekers. It needs men who can endure. Men who stay calm in chaos. Men who keep their word when it's costly. When resilience becomes your habit, nothing can stop you because nothing can break you.